Never seen a lame man walk, never heard a dumb man talk, never seen a blind man see. I promise you will change his name. Never seen a canceled debt, never seen all the poor get fed, never seen a prisoner set free. I promise you will change his name. And find a home. Never seen the weak find the strength. I promise you I'll change his name.
Hey, everybody. What's going on? It is time. It is time. It is about that time for the Big C and Bigger T podcast. What is up, Big C Clint Clock? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. You scared me a little bit again. Your background changed. You're from your undisclosed bunker.
I am in a different bunker today.
Different bunker, yeah. So
you know,
you ever watch
moving? So I had to go to the church office. And
you ever watch any of those doomsday prepper shows? I mean, they'll be out there.
Those people amaze me. Like I know a few people that are that kind of that way, and
yeah.
You folks,
I mean, they'll dig up holes in their backyard and bury their money, and
I love getting them going, man. I'll bring up stuff just about the government, just general stuff about the government. It doesn't have to be partisan. It can be just generally, something the government has their hand in, and you get them going. I did that with a furniture repairman the other day. I knew, the way he was. I said, what, you staying away from this COVID? I don't believe in that. Believe in it. Yeah. So you got to believe in homeboy. Anyway, so how's it going, Clint? How's your week been?
Man, it's been good, really good. Man, I've got no complaints. How about yourself? You getting all moved? I know you've been working on moving. Part of the reason you're in your undisclosed location there.
Man, I've been working on moving, and I'm just moving to this rent house, and hopefully it's temporary before I can get closer to where my church is. But I hate moving, especially I've been in the same house for 12 years. Okay. So like I've got stuff I forget I had. And then, you start pulling stuff out, things, it's just,
It's amazing how much harder moving's got through the years. Because you used to be back in the day.
Yeah.
Like move dorm rooms. Like it'd be nothing. Like I would do it in 2 hours,
I can do it all in my truck. Yeah.
Now, I'll be honest with you. Me and Anna were talking about buying a new house. We were talking about different things. Like, I'm at that age that the next house is going to be the house. Like they're going to dig, they're going to take me out in.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, look, it don't matter what we do. I'm paying for movers. I'm not doing it. I'm 45 years old. I'm at the point in life now where I don't care. If you want to make fun of me, call me soft, call me weak. Okay, sticks and stones and such. I don't know. I'm going to pay whatever's going to cost. 2 college hunks moving junk, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, and it makes it even tougher, Clint, when my dad died 20 years ago, and so I got some of the stuff that I've kept from him, right? So I got just lots of keepsakes. And I've been in a kind of a small place, and I couldn't put a lot of that out like I'd like to. Well, then, my mom went into a nursing home, and I sold her house, and so I had all her stuff. And so I got rid of a whole bunch of that, but then there's a few little things I wanted to keep, right? And so, and I got so much stuff. So I had to get a storage building, and I'm moving into a house a little bit smaller than what I did have. It's real close to the same size, but like in my living room, I don't have room for a couch. because I got 3 big recliners because I had a big living room at my old house. And so I had 3 big recliners and a couch. And I gave away the couch.
You just have 3. You just have 3 big recliners now.
I do. Yeah.
So you have a 4th guest. Like, look, buddy, Indian style.
I got some other chairs we can bring in there. I got you.
Okay.
It's no problem. But anyway, yeah. With those
I'm
3,
I'm concerned about your hosting abilities.
It's and then 1 bedroom is going to be designated office podcast room.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what you need.
Yeah.
That way you just ain't got to take whatever background your wife leaves you.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Well, hey, we appreciate y'all listening to us as always. Hope you're listening, maybe watching us on YouTube, or you're listening to us
Hopefully you like, shared, and subscribe.
Apple, on Spotify. You're downloading us, you're subscribed to us. Now, share it with folks.
Did you see my review? Did you see my review on Apple Podcast? I left a review. I took a screenshot of it before I shared it, and I meant to send it to you, and I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I said Clint is very handsome and intelligent, and Travis is on the podcast as well.
That's right. Hey, you know what? That's fine.
It's a fair review.
I'll take that. Well, Clint, we need to talk about it. What, my friend, is our holy shnikes for this week?
Man, just the big recruiting weekend up on the Hill. A lot of elite prospects. You know, Otis Kirk tweeted out earlier today that Arkansas was winning some of these battles. That just put, quite frankly, Arkansas historically doesn't win. Yeah. 5-star transfer from Alabama today was the number 14 ranked player in the country a year ago. Transferring to Arkansas, 4-star cornerback from LSU. Also, right before we started recording, committed to Arkansas. Didn't lose a defensive lineman transfer from Tulsa that we would like to win. But man, just the headway they're making in the recruiting department. They were talking about next year's recruiting class is like, I mean, who knows if it's going to end up there? But right now, they're in the top 10. Yeah, they are. I mean, he's doing work. Pittman was known as one of the best recruiters in the country as an offensive line coach, and he's showing he's one of the best recruiters in the country as a head coach.
And I believe Otis is putting that out there, saying that on the same weekend that they having the junior day up there right now too. So they got some of their top juniors that they're trying to get. And from everything I've heard, those guys are there's some ball players in that mix up there right now that's on campus.
And, you know, a lot of, you know, and this wasn't part of the Holy Snacks, but, you know, I think, I think a lot of these assistant coaches love being in Arkansas too. And I think it shows. Yeah. Like if you're on if you're on Kendall Brow's Twitter feed at all, if you ever look at Kendall Brow's Twitter, well, he's always posting pictures of him, you know, in the Arkansas Delta duck hunting. Yeah. I mean, he fits in, like he loves it here. Yeah. And I think you see that in a lot of the other coaches too.
Wait, when you're winning at Arkansas, you can duck hunt anywhere you please. Buddy.
Yeah, you get that. Yeah, you get them free
duck hunt, deer hunt. It don't matter. Squirrel hunt, coon hunt, crow hunt. We'll take you wherever you want to go, buddy.
It's a shame because as Southern as this boy says, I don't hunt or fish. I know you hunt. Yeah. It is not my thing. I'm freaked out by blood. Like I don't want to touch a dead animal. You're like, like when we had a dog die, I told my wife, like, you're gonna take that thing out. I said, I can't do it. Like
when you grow up as country as I grew up, man, you're forced into it. You put that first deer down, your dad hands you a knife, say, okay, go to work, field dressing.
And and I grew up on a farm, but I never had to do. I mean, I remember going to the slaughterhouse, my grandfather, you know, and Pawpaw, he didn't, you know, place like that, you don't knock on doors, you just walk in. Yeah. And I remember he opens the door and obviously it can't be exactly as I remember, but as I remember, it looked like a room from Saw. There was a head sitting on a spike and his tongue was doing the Jordan. Yeah. there's blood all over the walls, and I was just like, it looked like a scene from Dexter or something, but with a cow's head. I mean, it surely wasn't that bad, but my 45-year-old brain remembering something 12, 13-year-old me saw, it's like, oh, Lord.
Well, I'll tell you, and you can quote me on this. There is nothing that lets you know that you've taken a step toward manhood than the feeling of putting your hands into the innards of a fresh white-tailed deer kill. There's nothing like it. I don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
But it was an experience, and it always has been. And then of course, once you show them you can do it, my uncles be like, here, skin this one. Okay. So I got to skin a lot more deer than I killed, thankfully. But anyway, yeah, man, back to the portal. Back to the message at hand. Back to the portal.
I was going to tell you too, I remember my recruiting trip to Arkansas Tech.
All right. Yeah.
It's kind of a sad story because I remember, they called me in high school, and like, I really, like, hey, we'd like to have you out here sometime. Wasn't anything big. I wasn't quote unquote sought after. Like,
any stars, no stars.
Yeah, no stars. Like, come up here and look around if you want or not. I don't really think.
We'll give you a donut.
So the time would come where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna give it a whirl. I'm gonna see what I can do. So they're like, I'd call them like, yeah, we remember seeing you in high school. Come on up to campus, blah blah blah. And so David Henson, who played at UCA, actually got drafted by the Arizona Cardinals. David started off as a defensive tackle for Arkansas, then transferred to UCA. Was one of their studs, catalysts on their national championship team. He actually got drafted one pick before Ty Detmer.
I'll never forget, we met David Henson because of our basketball playing ability.
Right. Yeah.
I remember that. We were playing basketball full court against them, and we beat them. And in their Conway Regional Fitness Center. And he came over to us, like, man, you guys move for big guys. And started talking, and ended up, you told him you were thinking about walking on, and he helped you out a lot. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, he did. So he said, hey, I know how I get to Keck. I'll go up there with you. I know Coach Hollinsworth. So we're driving my mom's van, and I about run us out of gas because I'm just not paying attention. So he's verbally abusing me. Anyway, we end up getting gas. We get to Russellville. We walk in. No, David Henson is just a massive mountain of a man.
He was an NFL player. Yeah,
an NFL player, and I'm me. So I'm running a little bit behind him because he's an NFL player and he moves faster than I do. So he goes up the stairs to the building, in the street building, which is another horror story that I'll tell you all about sometime. The wonders of the street building. So we go upstairs, and Coach Goss, who was the defensive back coach, is up there. He's waiting. David walks in. He's like, Clint? I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, his heart starts fluttering. We got him. He's like, no. This just didn't happen. We didn't just luck into this. This is gonna be like, oh my goodness, this is gonna be the greatest walk-on in the history of walk-ons. He goes, no, I'm David. And then I walk again. They're like, oh, it's you. It's Clint.
Yeah. Oh.
Then it's like the high of like, oh my goodness, look at this. This prospect really isn't a prospect.
Yeah.
This is a man. And then it's like,
I'll never forget the David Henson's house. He lived in that neighborhood. It was like just houses, one house.
Oh yeah, it's one of them subdivisions where they got them packed in there.
And he'd get out in his front yard and he'd just throw a golf ball straight into the subdivision.
Yeah.
Just walk back in his house.
I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, like he benched something ridiculous, like 500-600 pounds. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. I mean,
I would work out with him. I'd be like, I'm like, okay, take all them plates off.
Yeah. All right, so back to it, man. The other thing on the portal is Malik Hornsby is coming back.
Yeah.
He's coming back. Pittman used to have a rule that once you get in the portal, you don't come back. But he's
Broken it twice now.
broken it twice with St. John and now Hornsby, and I'm glad he did. Okay, I think it's good. I think the portal's getting so normal nowadays. You can talk big. Once you get in, you can't come back. But I think Hornsby got in and saw his best chance was going to be to play here.
Yeah.
His best chance to be a quarterback was going to be to sit behind KJ another year, learn, be ready. Hey, look, as much as KJ runs the ball, as many hits as he takes, he is literally, it's always, it's what you always tell a backup, right? But he's literally one play away from being the starting guy at Arkansas. And I think more so than a lot of places, because he is playing behind a guy that takes a lot of hits.
And like you said, you never know when your time's going to come. I'm thinking two guys that actually listen to this podcast quite a bit. Gabe Saracel, I give him a hard time. But
Gabe
was starting right guard at Arkansas Tech University, was I guess a catalyst. He played a lot of football at Arkansas Tech. Got hurt in the game we beat SAU to win the Gulf South Conference. And
I was there.
Yeah, you were there. Jeremy Patterson came in. Stumpy came in and spelled Gabe after Gabe got hurt and finished the game, actually started the playoff game. So that was awesome. But like you said, you're one play away. And he said, and Malik had to come in some big spots, came in against A&M, played great against Penn State. He got, I was thinking about it because I was watching the Hog Plus, and Malik was there, and Pitt was in the locker room. He goes, well, I don't do this often, but dadgum, Malik Hornsby.
Yeah.
Some of them runs.
And it looked like Malik was having fun out there too.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about it. He looked like he was getting up, man. He was bouncing. He's like, yeah, come on, let's go, boys. And I really like seeing that.
And it's not, there's not a better quarterback coach in the country to coach that type of quarterback.
Yeah.
Than Kendall Browse.
Yeah.
And then that's why I feel because why this is a good why it's not a good idea for him, because he's going to sit behind KJ. KJ is the starter, but obviously he looked out there. I'm sure he talked to some schools, and at the end of the day, he really felt like his best.
He would not be coming back if there was a better situation for him.
No.
He would not be coming back if there was something.
No.
If he got out there and found out something was better.
I don't think there would have been a Power 5 school he could have went to.
No.
Within reason. You want to say, and I don't know every school's quarterback situation, which maybe he had his chance to be somewhere like Kansas, who's a major rebuild.
Yeah.
And and so they've got a good thing going at Arkansas, and they're obviously building. Plus
and look at the way he gets talked about when he does go in.
Yeah.
Just the way the commentators, they know who he is. They know what kind of skills he's got. And that commentator, that Outback Bowl game, was talking him up big time, when he got in the game. So definitely, I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing for the Hogs. It's a good thing for us as fans. We got a guy that we know at least could do something exciting. He may not, we may get frustrated with his passing ability when he does get in, but hey, Now, Clint, last week, the sky was falling, buddy. The sky was falling. We were in trouble.
It was, boy, and I tell you what.
And somebody, not going to say who, this guy was a voice crying in the wilderness, was saying, hold up, wait a minute, let me put some positivity in it. I said, hold on, guys. Look, yes, this team is struggling right now, but they're going to get it together and watch. They will at least have a chance at the playoff, at the tournament. Clint, in comes Missouri. off a huge, the H is silent, huge win
Huge.
over Alabama. Okay, looked the part of the sleeper against Alabama, right? They come into Bud Walton, and what do?
Oh, we beat them like they owed us money.
Clint, we didn't have to score a point in the second half, and we still would have beat them.
Yeah.
Did not have to. We could have went out and played like just not even touched the ball.
Run some of that old Coach Murray offense where you just got up about to have
four corners. Just ran 4 corners on them the whole time. We not had to score in the second half. We still would have beaten them. Now we would have had to kill some time, not giving them less shots. But anyway, still. Right. But here's the deal. Just whooped them. Then
you ever been like to a Guy Perkins game when Hutchcraft had the blowout rules on? Like if they were ever playing like the School for the Deaf or something like that.
Nope, nothing but 3-pointers.
Nothing but threes and no offensive rebounds.
Yeah.
Like you dribble down, jack one up, run back. And
they would set like national records for 3-pointers made all those games.
Just because he could.
That's right.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't know who you're talking about. Guy Perkins, legendary coach Hutchcraft, won a lot of games. Also was on what's it called? Antique Archaeology. The American Pickers. They stopped by his shop that time. Bought some overalls from him.
Anyway. Coached McDonald's All-American game. I mean, he's
great coach. But also used the snowbird technique in the state finals. You got to respect a guy that does that. Got his point guard some dunks in the state championship. But anyway, Clint, and then all of a sudden we go down to LSU. LSU's got a lot of talent, Clint. They got talent that money pays good for, right?
Yeah.
Because they got a coach that should be in jail right now, or at least suspended.
Yeah, he definitely should not.
FBI's got them tapes.
And he's got the most punchable face of all the coaches, I think.
He does, really. He really does. But anyway, we go down there, beat them. Now, a little closer game. But Clint, here's the other thing. Did we play awesome in any of those 2 games?
No, we really didn't.
No.
Played good defense. Played real good defense.
Played good defense. And we had good effort in the game instead of just the last 5 minutes or 7 minutes or something like that. We played with good effort most of the game instead of just in little spurts. So do you believe now? Do you believe, or are you still riding side saddle on the fence?
I'm like, I guess I'm like, if the bus slows down, the bandwagon slows down a little bit more, I'll get on. I'm not quite on. I'm like, I don't know if I want to get on yet. Is it time to get back on the band? Because look, Missouri, they're coming off a big win against Alabama, but they were still like a 500 basketball team. Now, winning at LSU like we did is nothing but impressive. It was a good week, but this is still the team that got drummed on a neutral court by Oklahoma. This is still the team that lost at home to Vanderbilt. Yeah. So, you know what? Did we see progress? Yeah, we saw progress. Does it erase, going to A&M and laying an egg? No. You're still what, 2-3 in the SEC? I mean, it's just like, this is, we wouldn't even be talking about not being on the bandwagon had you looked the part earlier on. No, hopefully they're figuring it out. Hopefully that's what's happening. Do you think it's a sign that they figured it out, Travis?
I think it's a sign that they are figuring it out. There will still be bumps in the road. There'll be games that we may look like we ain't figured nothing out. Okay. But I do think it's going to progress. Because here's what you know why I'm saying this, Clint? I'm not making anything up. I'm not seeing some magic potion. I'm not clocking in the analytics and figuring out the numbers. I've watched this team the last 2 years under Muss, and it's done the same thing. Okay. It's done the same thing, different players. Now, these players aren't as good, maybe, as the depth. We don't have a Jalen Tate. Okay. We don't have even a Jimmy Witt that can consistently hit the short jumper. Tate could take away the other team's point guard with his 6'5" frame. We don't have those guys. But this team's got some talent on it. Okay. It's got some talent. Jalen Williams can play on any team in the nation.
No, he'd be starting for anybody.
Anybody. And then for him to pop out and hit that three, which we've been hearing. And by the way, Musselman wasn't there because of his shoulder surgery, but his replacement's smart, and it's smart.
Yeah, keep smart.
He told Jalen, he said, look, you're going to get one of those. Take it. You can make it. If you get one open, you take it. And he did. Okay. Note was taking some bad shots. He took some good ones too, though. And he made some good. And Note is just been a good all-around player. He really has. I mean, we're seeing him play defense. We're seeing him pass. We're seeing him cut to the basket, score underneath. But Clint, I got to ask you, the Missouri game, did you watch any of it?
I did not, because you know what happened? I had said that I've given up on this basketball team. Like, I'd given up on them, and then somebody started messaging me saying, dude, are you watching this? And so I turned it over.
Chris Lott blocked the dude with the crazy hair from Missouri. I'm talking Clint. It's a victory for little people everywhere.
I know. That's like, yeah.
The midget wrestlers that used to come to Travelers games would be so proud of that guy. Dude, he got up and threw that stuff into the stands. I jumped out of my chair.
The other guy, you got to walk back to the bench and be like, just hold your head down in shame. Like, oh.
That's right. I just got blocked by a 5th grader. And I'm an NCAA player. It was so funny, man. It was so good. That was the play of the game. You need to go back and watch it. And it was clean, too. Like, yeah. I thought, yeah, he's going to get, I mean, he's 5 foot nothing, man. He's going to have to crawl over his back or something to get up there. Nope. He jumped up and blocked that stuff, man. He got it out of there. But that was so impressive. So impressive.
No, I didn't really watch much of that game, but I watched a good bit of the LSU game, but it was hard because I was working, and so we were busy. I was having to catch it when I can. And I did love JT Nolte as everybody was leaving. Like, where are y'all going? Where you go?
I had to watch it on my iPad because I'd already moved my TV, and I don't have internet at my new house anymore, so I was watching it at my old house on my iPad.
Isn't that great that you have that type of technology that when the TV doesn't work?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I can watch it on my phone, or I could, watch it.
I started out on my phone, and then I was like, oh yeah, I have an iPad. That'll be bigger. But yeah, man. But no, I think they're gonna come around, Clint. I think this, if nothing else, they'll make the end of the season entertaining. And look, during the LSU game, they had a deal come up on the screen showing, Tom Rinaldi or whoever it is that does the people predicting who's going to make the tournament.
Right.
And Arkansas was on the list of wait and see. Okay. That's the way I feel about them. It's a wait and see. But at least they're on the list.
Right.
At
No,
least they're on the list.
If you're going to grow, you have to find a spot to start growing.
Yeah.
And I think this week was a very, very good start to get back on the right track.
Clint, if Muss can make it to the tournament with this team, that's some good coaching.
Yeah. I think it's really kind of like you just got your car out of the shop. That's what this week is like. Like you put your car in the shop. You're like, okay, but is it really fixed?
Yeah.
Like, and you're like, so the first sign, you're like, oh.
You're just waiting for it to start sputtering again or something. Yeah.
Right. And that's the way I feel about it. Like, okay, it just went to the shop. I think it's fixed. But man, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Not sure if this extended warranty was a good idea or not. That's how I feel about the basketball team.
Now, Clint, of course, when I hit on it a while ago, but we do have a coach out. Our coach is out.
We did.
Finally, his shoulder was bad enough that he finally had to go under the knife. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you had shoulder surgery not long ago, didn't you?
Well, it's been a long time.
Oh, has it? Okay.
But, yeah,
Oh, I'm
it
sorry. That was your other deal you had. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm falling apart, buddy. It's been
That's right.
but no, I had shoulder surgery. It was an old college football injury that I never did quite get fixed. Yes,
Is it a torn rotator cuff or was it?
Well, it was funny. I had the MRI done, and that's where the funny, the funny part of the story is. And we talked about Jennings barbecue, and I'm not sure how much of the story I went into last week because I was going to meet you, I think our friend Bob and somebody else over at the game. Then we're going to watch. South Carolina was playing Arkansas at War Memorial Stadium. It was a Thursday night game. So I had to get they were giving me the MRI. So they asked me, am I claustrophobic? To which I answered no, because I'm not claustrophobic. If you want me to go hide in a box, closet, something like that, shower to scare somebody, whatever, I'm good with that. I'm not like, oh, I do jujitsu too, so I'm okay with tight places. So they give you what they call an anagram MRI. And so what they do is they take a needle about yay long.
Yeah, something.
But they give you a shot all the way to the joint of in the shoulder, and it doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
Give me the shot. And so they go, okay, we're going to put you in the MRI. And they go to put me in a regular MRI. Well, I was quite a bit bigger back then, but even now, it would be a tight fit in a regular MRI for me. Even if I was about 50, 60 pounds lighter, it would still be a tight fit in a regular MRI. Yeah. So they go suck me up in there, and the machine was like right on my nose. I'm like, y'all stop.
Yeah.
Stop. I'm like, you're number one, you're not giving me that shot again. And number two, you're not putting me in there. So you best figure something out. So they end up taking me and they do a CAT scan on my shoulder. This is what they end up doing. And so I remember getting over there and I'm eating barbecue with you guys because they charged me for parking. And I was spicy about them charging me for parking. Well, just spend my barbecue money on parking. And then you're like, hey, we got plenty of food. And so that was okay. The day wasn't ruined because I had to pay for parking. But when they actually got in there, I torn the only thing they saw on the CAT scan was I had to tear my labrum. I had to tear my rotator cuff, had to tear in had the labrum tear, had some bone spurs, and my bicep was really close to rolling down my arm. So I've actually got 2 screws holding my bicep onto my right shoulder, which they didn't see any of that on the CAT scan because they couldn't do a regular MRI. So
yeah,
and I was like, I'm not getting that shot again. Y'all hit somebody else with that. No.
Well, I had that shot in my shoulder one time, and I'm kind of weird. I don't mind that stuff. But
yeah, well, I've had it done like 3 or 4 times now because it flares up and they have to look at it.
Now, Clint, also, it's playoff time in the NFL.
Yep.
So who are you feeling good about in the NFL this year?
Man, I was liking the Cowboys up till a few minutes ago. We're recording this Sunday night, and the Cowboys losing to the 49ers. I'm curious to see if Tennessee gets everything back. If they get Derrick Henry, and it's got to go through Tennessee, I wouldn't bet against them. And who would have thought Tannehill, that change of scenery to the Nashville.
I'm not going to say I'm a fan of Tennessee, but I appreciate what they do.
Yeah.
They have a roster. San Francisco has a good roster. That a lot of people don't realize how good of a roster both of those teams have. They have good rosters. They have good ball players. They may not have huge name ball players like some of the, they don't have the Patrick Mahomes. But Derrick Henry's a pretty big name. Okay.
Right.
But they got players up and down that lineup. And so when one guy goes out hurt, they have some other guys step in. Okay. And Tannehill they work to his strengths. I'm with you. I think Tennessee, I think in the AFC, I don't think anybody can beat them.
Yeah.
I mean, the Chiefs maybe, but I think when it comes down to it, I think there's more real men on Tennessee's team. And it's going to depend on how good Derrick Henry comes back. If he comes back healthy and strong, I think it's Tennessee. Like you said, it's got to go through Tennessee. Which in the NFL, the road doesn't mean as much. Okay.
No, and man, and watching Tampa Bay, Tampa looked tough today.
Yep.
They look really, really tough today. And it's hard to bet against Tom Brady.
NFC is going to be Tampa and Green Bay showing down.
See, Green Bay just they just never seem to be able to get over.
It's different this year, though.
Yeah,
they got a squad, man. And I think you ever watch Aaron Rodgers on the Pat McAfee show?
I try not to.
Man,
I mean bits and clips, but yeah,
it's interesting. I don't usually watch the whole thing, but some of the clips that pop up on YouTube, Aaron is not as unhappy there as it comes across, as the media has made it sound like. He's I don't know, man. They got a squad. He's got a running game finally. He's got a defense. And Tampa, of course, is Tampa. They got Brady. They got the squad too. I think it's going to be between them two. I think it's going to be probably Tennessee and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens. Now,
there was a rumor going around about Rodgers that he put to rest on the Pat McAfee show, that he was going to sit out the Super Bowl over COVID vaccine protest or something like that.
Yeah.
And Rodgers like, no, we go to the Super Bowl, I'm going to play.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting out the Super Bowl. I'm going to play. Which that was neat. That
I love what he said about it, because Boomer Esiason and them who broke it. He's got that show on like NBC Sports or CBS Sports or something, and he said, and they said that they had a source, and Aaron's like, who's their source? It's not someone that knows me. It's not someone who's heard me talk, because I've never said that. He said they're just making stuff up. And it is kind of neat that he gets on there and just kind of tells. He was good on the Peyton and Eli. He busted on them because they wear those quarter zip hoodies or whatever, or quarter zip polos or whatever, or shirts, whatever. Anyway.
Now, so how do you feel about alternative broadcast? I mean, because it's something that the NFL, college football has experimented with where they do the alternative broadcast. Because I tell you what I did today. And now I'm
Watch Nickelodeon.
I was watching the Nickelodeon broadcast for a little bit today, where they had the SpongeBob in the goal post. If they kicked the field goal, they would shoot the slime. I'm like, and I catch myself like trying to watch Brady and Eli. I mean, Eli and Peyton. And I'm like, I'm like, maybe I'm just old school and I'm a fuddy-duddy. But I'm like, give me John Madden and Pat Summerall any day of the week. I'd rather listen to Joe Buck call a game than watch it with Peyton and Eli. I mean, they're good, they're entertaining, but it's like one of them here is like here's a sports show where you're watching the sport, where the sport is being presented to you as the way it's been to for years. And here's an entertainment show.
Yeah.
Like if I want to watch the game to enjoy the game, I'm gonna watch a regular broadcast. If I want to be entertained, then like the game I don't care about, like I'll turn it over to you.
What I do is I keep track on Twitter on who they're going to have, and I just switch over if it's somebody I want to listen to. Like when they had Favre, just some other people. If I'm watching the game that night, I'll just switch over because I'm like you. I'd rather watch the regular commentators normally. But the Nickelodeon deal is kind of funny to me because, if you're a kid and you're watching that, that's why they're doing it, right? To get kids to watch football. I'm sure that's why the NFL is doing it. So you're a kid and you get all excited because you think, man, when they score a touchdown, if I go to the NFL game, they're going to shoot slime out. And you get there and they don't shoot slime out. How disappointed you going to be as a kid? Where's SpongeBob, Daddy? Where's SpongeBob?
Why does it say Allstate in the nets instead of SpongeBob?
It'd be kind of like that girl at the Arkansas game one time. I guess she was at her first game. She asked her boyfriend, husband, whoever it was she was with. This was an adult lady. She was pretty young, but she was an adult. She said, "Hey, where's that yellow line like on TV?" The one they put in.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
First down is?
No.
That's one of those. Bless your heart.
Well, and I tell you, one thing that is painful for me is to watch a game with somebody that doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
That doesn't understand the rules. And it's fine if you're just like you don't know and you say, "Hey, I don't know." But when like a holding, why is it not and lost it down? You're like, just shut up.
Well, no, and that's the thing. I don't like watching it with people that pretend like they know what they're doing, but really don't. They act like normally like they know everything about football, and then you get in the game and they're like saying stuff like, "Oh, that's supposed to be this." No, it's not supposed to be that. It's not the way it is. Now, if they just don't know, just because they've never been around football and never had someone teach them, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Clint, I always thought I was a pretty good teacher, pretty good, that I thought about being a coach, a long time ago and stuff. And, feel like I know football where I could teach the basics to somebody. Well, I went on a mission trip to Sri Lanka. It was after the tsunami had went through. And so we're on the beach and we'd brought a football with us for us Americans to throw around, right? Well, in Sri Lanka, they play cricket and soccer. That's it, Well, we're on the beach playing around and I'm trying to teach these Sri Lankans how to play football. Do you know how hard it is to explain the line of scrimmage? Just the fact that you line up across from each other to a bunch of Sri Lankans that have never watched a game of football in their life. That was difficult, Clint.
I remember talking to the coach, the head coach of the school for the deaf, because they were doing 7-on-7 football, and I was playing for the Rhinos, and we went out there and played on 7-on-7. They beat the brakes off of us because they knew 7-on-7 plays. We were just out there like, yeah. But I remember the coach talking beforehand was like, I had like all my offensive scheme and he walked out there. He's like, okay, we had to go over what a huddle was.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just all this knowledge that we have that you should neglect that other people have, and that's just your casual fans. That's not your hard. Did you know what a snap count is? What a all that is. It's just it's crazy.
Yeah.
To realize, when people just don't know that.
Yeah.
And then you
They
watch
just
it.
don't know little basics. Of course, I'm sure people would say that about us, about when they start talking about math.
Yeah.
2 + 2 is what? What?
One of the things I taught my ex-wife is, what are the 3 fat positions? She was like center, guard, and tackle, and sometimes quarterback.
Sometimes quarterback.
That
Nice.
was that's for me making ton of Todd Cooley.
God rest his soul.
God rest his.
Jared Lorenzen.
No, Todd wasn't that fat. Todd was actually a very talented quarterback, and I think he's doing a great job at Delta State, from what I've been told. So
yeah,
he was on last. He had a little guest speaking spot on Last Chance U.
Did he?
It said on the phone, Delta State head coach Todd Cooley on the bottom of it. So
really?
He's made it. He made it. What have we done? He's been on Last Chance to have a mediocre podcast.
That's right.
Todd Cooley wins.
Take that, buddy. Take that. Well, Clint, it may be about that time. Is there anything else we need to cover? We got I think we've gone through our list.
We knocked it out the park, buddy.
Dude, we gave good commentary tonight.
Yeah, it was good. We hit y'all with some knowledge this week. Yeah, check.
If I could reach it, I'd pat myself on the back.
Next time, you're watching a game on CBS and they say, like, hey, switch over to Nickelodeon. Switch over there for a minute. See what you think. See if you like the SpongeBob goalpost net.
SpongeBob.
Hey, so how do you feel about them playing a playoff game on Monday night? That's something new they're doing this year. I don't like it at all, because I think you're putting a team at a disadvantage.
Yeah, I think the Saturday Sunday deal is the best way.
I do too, because they're already losing. You got a chance of losing today, but I mean, it needed to be. I don't like.
You need the same amount of time between games for everybody.
Yeah.
And that I don't like it. I think.
Yeah, because I
think that's bad news.
Either LA or Arizona is going to have to go to Tampa, and they're going to play on Monday night. So not only you got to go against Tom Brady, you're losing a day to prepare,
and you got to fly halfway across. I mean, all the way across the United States.
Yeah, got to do that.
I mean, could you go any further? No, wait. If the Rams win, doesn't Tampa go to LA?
No, because the Niners were the lowest seed available. The next, so they were the 6th seed. So there's 7 teams. Tampa beat the 7 seed, so now the 6th seed automatically goes to.
Wasn't the Rams the highest seed?
Tampa was.
Okay.
Tampa was. Yep.
Okay.
Tampa.
No, they wasn't, because Tampa's playing this week.
I know Tampa's too. No, they only give one bye now. They started doing that last year. There's only one bye now.
Green Bay got the bye.
Green Bay got the bye.
Gotcha. Okay.
I swear I'm not. I would never leave you wrong. I would never leave.
It was Green Bay. So it was Green Bay, Tampa,
Dallas.
LA. Oh, Dallas.
Tampa, Dallas, then LA.
Okay.
That's why LA's got the toughest game, which was Arizona.
LA's one of those teams, man. We're gonna see what Stafford can do.
Yeah.
Did I say that last week?
Well, you did, but it doesn't. I mean, I know they're playing like literally tomorrow, and so this podcast is going to come out after they played. But it is going to be interesting. You got a 5-star, you got a blue chipper like Kellen Moore, and just a guy that's just never had a roster around him that could do this. So it's going to be an interesting game. And but what's crazy is any of these teams that are in it, any of them, except for really Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh would shock me if they went on a run. Yeah. But any of the other teams wouldn't shock me if they won it. And that's going down to San Francisco, to Arizona. I can see any of these teams.
Wouldn't it be crazy if San Francisco won it? And they're in the midst of, it'd have been like if the Chiefs would have won it when Alex Smith was their quarterback and Patrick Mahomes was on the bench.
So, and I think they have two. This could be a podcast subject for another day, but I think people don't have enough patience with quarterbacks.
Yeah,
they don't give them time to develop. I mean,
you're up.
I don't know. Are you Ryan Tannehill? Are you Sam Darnold?
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
quarterback,
if you don't have the quarterback surrounded with some good players, man, you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, just like Stafford, we're finally seeing what he's doing with some good players around him. We'll see, but yeah, it's interesting. NFL is going to be fun to watch. It's going to be a fun season. I'm kind of shocked Dallas got beat just because I really thought they had the talent to make it a little further. But
there was, if anybody watched that game today, there were too many self-afflicted wounds.
Yeah,
you can't commit the kind of penalties that they did and win against a good team. It's just like turning the ball over too much. It's hard to beat a good team when you do that.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. Well, man, been another good one. We got Mick Foley this week.
I'm going to have him throw me off a cell.
Well, mankind action.
I'll
throw out some thumbtacks for him to throw you on.
I'll come closer doing that than I would heights. I would.
I ain't scared. I ain't scared for you to get hurt. Well, hey, y'all, seriously, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This is your Big C, Bigger T podcast. We need you to comment, like. We need you to share on social media. We need you to tell your friends, your cousin, your sister, your auntie, to let them all know.
Yeah,
Uncle
let them all.
Boo Boo. Tell them all.
Not Uncle Boo Boo.
Okay, maybe not Uncle Boo Boo.
Not Uncle Boo Boo.
But everybody else, tell them about this podcast. Tell them they need to listen. If you enjoy it, spread the word, spread the love, okay? If you don't like it, that's okay. Subscribe anyway.
Yeah. Tell somebody you don't like to listen to it. We don't care.
Keep watching it. Keep listening until you do like it, because we're two likable guys. I like me. I like Clint.
I like Travis. I like me.
So what more do you need? What more do you need in life?
Nothing.
Well, big thanks to Sean Michelle Music, rocking it for us. Big thanks to Hometown Roofing. He's selling those roofs. We ain't heard from Robert in a while. We need to. Well, we'll get to the same tomorrow night or Tuesday night, but hope he's doing well. Hope Hometown Roofing's throwing up them roofs, throwing up them shingles, putting up them shingles. Clint, have a good week, man. Hope all goes well. Hope your tomorrow is, we're, like you said, recording this on Sunday. Tomorrow we celebrate Martin Luther King Day. Do yourself a favor, go read a speech from Dr. Martin Luther King tomorrow. I dare you to read the one he gave in Memphis the day before he died to the sanitation workers, and tell me that dude didn't know something was about to happen. Now, I'm not saying he knew because of word of mouth. I'm saying, Clint, sometimes you can read people.
Yeah.
Lots of famous people just before they die. And it's almost like they know something's about to happen. And when he says in that speech, I've seen the mountaintop. We may not get there together. Man, it give you goosebumps. But do yourself a favor. Get on YouTube somewhere Well, this will be out after Martin Luther King week, but
still, even that, I mean, his teachings are
Still.
important enough that go read. If you listen to this Wednesday, read something Thursday.
Go listen to something. Okay, listen to him. It's worth. And if you got kids, let them listen to it. Tell them about that man who did so much good. Okay, hey, did he have flaws? Yep, he did. Does Clint have flaws? Do I have flaws? Still make a difference in this world. Dr. King showed us how to do it. Let's do it. All right. Anyway, that's enough of that. Clint, my man, have a good one. Be great.
Bye, everybody.
And just don't be stupid.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard ground so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of no aches and pain. Lord knows I gotta follow his lead. That's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Oh, I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Sun beating down so hard, I can barely breathe. Hard to sing a joyful song, the words got me on my knees. Then the gentle breeze